Welcome to Adaxes. In this video, we are going to look at data standards enforcement. Not only can Adaxes help you simplify data entry, it can also help you enforce your corporate data standards. Now, enough of this talking, let's go take a look. All right, we are looking at the Adaxes web interface, and we are in the Create User screen to actually allow us to create a new user. As part of that, let's go ahead and fill in the first name and last name of this new user that will be created. And what I want you to pay attention to is the full name and the logon name fields that are in this form. So we'll go ahead and put in our name. And again, this is going to create the user Peter Taylor inside of Active Directory. And we can see that full name and login name were pre-populated based on what I added inside of first name and last name. This is done by the way of templates inside of property patterns. So let's head over to the Adaxes administration console to see how this is actually configured to create our new user in this format. So we are in the Adaxes administration console. We are inside of the property patterns area for configuration, and we are looking at the built-in user patterns that are configured for this instance of Adaxes. We can see full name here, and we can see the template that is in place for the default value. So let's go ahead and we'll go and edit this item. Let's change up how this is actually created. So we're going to remove the default template that's here, and we're going to add our own. So what we can do is just go ahead and hit on the plus, and we'll do last name. And then we're going to change this to be all uppercase. We'll go ahead and hit OK. Then we can go ahead and add in the first name. So we'll do comma space, we'll do percent first name, grab that item, and then this will be the new template for our full name field that will get generated on the fly as we type in the first and last name. So we'll go ahead and cancel this. And then we can see for login name, the template that's going to be used for that, which is the first character of the first name that's lowercase followed by the last name in lowercase. And note that if you need more complex rules for that pattern, you can use PowerShell as well. So it's very flexible. Let's head back over to the web form, and inside of here, pay attention to the department field at the bottom of the form. We're just going to go and create the user. This field can't be empty, and you'll also notice I can't type into the field. I have to pick something from the list. So let's head over to the administration console and see how this is done. We'll go up to department, and when we see here, we'll see that the property is required, and it also must be in the following list. And we can edit this list and add something else into it. As easy as that. If we scroll down a little bit more, we will see another field here called Employee ID. The first thing you'll notice is hint text within the field. So this tells us the format that the value needs to be for this property. And you'll also notice this eye icon over on the right. It is a help icon. If I select that, you can see the help information that is there for this field. These are fully customizable inside of Adaxes. Let's go ahead and try and enter something in that we know will not match this format. And if we go and hit finish, we'll get that validation error as well, telling us that that format's invalid and it needs to be proper. And then if we fix that up and we make this correct, then that validation error goes away and we are safe to continue on with our create user form. So let's switch over to the Adaxes administration console and look how we can actually configure these items for use inside of these forms. First thing that we'll see for the employee ID field is that there are constraints on this field. This is using regular expressions to format that out. If we go in and edit this item, we can see that that regex item is selected here. And next to the regex to the right, we can see this error button. And when we select that, we can customize that error message so that it fits whenever the validation fails for that given item. Also down below, we'll see this hint and help button. If we select that, we can see that right away we can customize the hint text. We can make that whatever we want. And then for the help message, we can have a full HTML editor and put in the HTML that we require for that help information. You can apply property patterns to any property. This could be account options. It could prevent accidental deletion. It could also be custom exchange attributes. And if you've extended your Active Directory schema with custom properties, those are supported also. All right, let's take a look and see how we can apply this to another property. We'll add a new property here. We can go up to the add box up in the right, and then we'll type in log on, and we'll choose log on hours. And to modify this template, we'll select the ellipsis and we'll select Sunday and we'll say login is denied on Sunday and login is denied on Saturday. So they can only log in Monday through Friday. So we'll hit OK. We'll hit OK again, and then we'll save those changes. Now we can come back and actually create the user that we wanted. We'll hit OK here. This will bring up our user that we created. One thing we'll notice right away is the login hours that are here, they were actually supplied properly, even though they weren't actually in or listed inside of the create user form. They were still populated because we had those templates defined in the property patterns. The other thing you'll notice here is logon name has a number on the end of it. This is because there was already a user that existed with P. Taylor. And so Adaxes automatically added the number on the end of it to make it unique. This is not the default behavior of Adaxes, but it is another example of how you can configure Adaxes to perform certain behaviors. And you can use any rules that you want to make non-unique values into unique values. We'll also notice that display name was created even though that also was not in the create user form. This behavior can be useful when we're doing things like importing users. So let's say that we're doing a bulk operation with CSV files, and say you have a bunch of users that are coming in, you can enforce unique values on certain fields and make sure that those are populated when necessary. This can be really helpful to reduce errors that occur when doing that bulk operation. Also note that these property patterns can be enforced not only when creating objects, but also when editing those objects as well. And yes, I mentioned objects. Property patterns are supported against different Active Directory objects, including users, groups, computers, organizational units, and also any custom object types that you have. The same property patterns can be applied to multiple domains, enforcing the same data standards across all of them. Or you may have different standards at different locations, and you can apply those property patterns to different scopes. For example, you may manage multiple organizations that each have their own data standards, and within those organizations, they have different offices with different departments available in each office. Let's take a look and see how that would work. So we'll go and create a new user, and we will choose the London office. Next. And if we go down to department, we will see that we have accounting, HR, IT, and sales. Let's go back and let's check out the Berlin office, and let's see what they've got for department. And we'll notice those are different based on the property patterns and the rules that are in place for those offices. With data standards in place, you can safely delegate the ability to fill in forms and to edit data without the risk of something breaking. Also, you've minimized the human factor and have made sure that your data inside of Active Directory is standardized and unified. Thanks for watching.